Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today I'm looking at my Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game collection for 2019. Now on my channel I reviewed Star Wars Armada, Hot Wheels Starships, various different types of micro machines, Star Wars Titanium series, and even the Eagle Moss Doctor Who figurine collection. But the X-Wing miniatures are quickly becoming my favorites because of the great detail and beautiful paint applications. Now I have 95 ships in total so far, and this video will focus on the ships, how I store them, and how I store the various materials of the game. Also keep in mind, I have reviewed many of these ships so far, so if you're interested, make sure to click the link in the description below to check out my playlist. Now a little reminder, I do have a speech issue. Sometimes I say words or phrases that in my mind sound good, but out of my mouth, they get a little messed up. For example, pronouncing the G sound in X-Wing. If I'm not focused and thinking about it, it comes out as X-Wing. And I do have to mention this because a lot of people see my videos, they don't know who I am, and they feel the need to write me a big paragraph saying how horrible I am and I'm an idiot because I can't talk right. I'm not a speech therapist, I don't understand the science behind it, but I do have a issue. So if that offends you so much to the point where you have to tell me about it, don't watch my channel. I don't want to read your comments, and neither do my fans. So having said all that, we have a lot to cover, so let's get started. Here are all the ships. Now I'm not going to go through all the names of the vessels, we're just looking at what I have. And I have to say, I mentioned before, this is one of my favorite lines because of the detail and paint. And just looking at these pieces, you can't really understand how beautiful they actually are. Now on my channel, what I like to do is get really close with my camera and show everybody at home what these ships have to offer. What are we really paying for? Now also in my show, I do discuss the cards, the tokens, the cardboard as they put it. Yes, I go over that, I show you what comes in it, I get a nice shot of the cards. So that way, even if you play the game, you know, you're set. My channel covers everything. But I'm just really happy with how the collection is growing and the second edition of the game. I think it's really great. And here's some other beautiful ships. I love the Imperial Gunboat. Really nice. The Arc 170. The TIE Defender. The B-Wing. Now there's a 2.0 version of that B-Wing coming out. And it can move and everything. Here's the bigger ships. Magnificent pieces. The Lander-class shuttle. Houndstooth. Millennium Falcon. Kylo Ren's command shuttle. The Punishing one. Just hit after hit. Here's the Sith Infiltrator, Boba Fett ship. And then we also have the new Falcons and that beautiful Outrider. And next up we have the bigger ships. The Ghost, one of my favorites. And of course the two epic ships I have. Just fantastic stuff. Now since I'm done with the ships, let's go over to storage. Now I like to utilize plastic canisters, and we'll look at them soon for the cardboard. But I do like to use the core box sets as we see here. This is the second edition, so let's open it up. In here, I moved everything to better film it, but we have the little pamphlets that come with the expansions, my rule book, so that way it stays straight. Love that stuff, it's really good. Now, inside the box, I like to keep my bigger tokens, such as debris, asteroids, and whatnot, and also my maneuver tiles, or the templates. You know, I love to keep them straight, and the box really helps with that. I think it's great. So now let's take a look at the plastic containers. So how do I organize my ships? Simply put, I go to Walmart, I go in the fish and tackle aisle, and I get these beautiful plastic canisters. Now it may be crude to some, but I dig them. So let me open up these two flaps, open up the lid, and we'll see what's inside. As you can see, I have my bases and pegs in the front, and then all my ships in the back. Now I have about 3 of these canisters, and only 2 are filled. And it depends how many I could get in it based on the size of the ship. Now we have my bases, as you can see, Arc 170 gets its own spot, 2 B-Wings, TIE Defender, and I'm not going to go through all the ships, but you guys get the idea. Each ship gets its own little cubicle, and I know some people might be cringing, but the thing is, I don't manhandle my ships at all. These go into the canister, and they sit there towards the floor, so they're pretty safe, and I'm really happy with how this turns out. So for my bigger ships, I like to get the bigger box. Now, they are harder to organize. These ships are massive. But the Slave 1s fit nicely. The Outrider is a great fit as well. Love that ship. Moving on, we have the Lambda class shuttle, fitting beautifully. And then in the rear section, I like to put all my Falcons in one level. Pretty dope. Now moving on to how I store my cardboard, tokens, and dials. I have two boxes here. The first one is for version 2.0, the second for the original version of the game. And every time I review one of these ships, I take the components and I stick it in one of these boxes. So let me open this for you guys. I'll open it up, and here we can see, so let's get a closer look. Here we have my dials, different various tokens, my dice. So I like to keep everything organized. That's the key here. I'm a very organized guy, so this really helps me. Now, once I review more stuff, I might need another box, because this is filling up. So here we have the second version of the game's box, and we can see all the various tokens in here. And I have to admit, I love the different colors that the second version has, especially for the ship bases. I love that teal or turquoise color for the Republic. Great stuff. As we can see, the second version of the game has different tokens, so the whole top row is full of different types of stuff. Pretty neat though. So for the ships I didn't review yet, I keep all their materials in Ziplocs in this nice box here I also got from Walmart. So this is for Armada, don't worry about that. But right now, here we have the XWing expansion. As you can see, everything's in there, ready to go for me to review. So I'm really digging that. If I dig in here a little bit, I can find a 2.0 ship. There we have the Fan Fighter, looking great. And now for the card organization, here is a binder I made for version 1.0 of the game. And yes, I got my binder and card sleeves at Walmart. Walmart is good for everything. These expansions are expensive, so it helps to save a little money here and there. But up first, I have all my ship cards. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I love collecting cards, especially like this. Yes, it has data for the game, but the artwork, my God, the art is beautiful. If I had a house with a lot of room, I would definitely have some of these blown up just for the art aspect. Beautiful stuff, and I always comment on that in my videos. Here we have some blank pages. They always get stuck on the ring. What are you gonna do? But here we have the quick rules reference cards. I love them. I wish they made more, or perhaps I did and I didn't get to them yet. But here we have all the upgrades. Beautiful artwork on them as well. I just love organizing these cards, and I can't wait to review the rest, even though a lot of people complain, Dave, why are you reviewing version 1? Version 2's out now. Because I'm just organizing my collection, guys. You know, cut me a break. I'm just trying to have fun and relax after a day of work and give you guys videos every week. But besides all that mumbo jumbo, beautiful, beautiful cards. I love collecting them. So now, let's take out the version 2. And here's my binder for that. Again, Walmart. But again, the beautiful, beautiful artwork on these second edition cards, blowing my mind. So up first, we have the Imperials, and as we move on, we have the Rebels, and it moves on from there with all the factions, even the Confederacy and the Republic and Scum and Villainy. Just, oh man, I just love what they're doing with the second edition of the game. Not a fan of using the app, but, you know, card-wise, great stuff. And I love the backs of the cards as well. All the different faction symbols are there. And here we have our upgrades and so on and so forth. Again, great artwork. Can't knock them for that. Spot on with that stuff. And you might be noticing a lot of empty pages. That's because I have a lot of version 2.0 expansions to review as well. So in time, I hope to fill up these books. And just wave after wave is coming out. So I have a lot to look forward to. Now, after the upgrades, we have our quick build cards. And these are good since if you don't have the app, you know, this is what you have to go by. So that's kind of cool, and I got all of them spread out by different factions as well. Just all in all, a great collection card-wise. Beautiful stuff. And there we go. And that does it today for my Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures game collection for 2019. Hands down, probably my favorite collection I have thus far, even surpassing the Titanium series and Star Wars Armada. I just love what Fantasy Flight Games is doing here. The models, beautifully detailed. The paint applications, magnificent. And all this stuff I mentioned is just a fraction of what makes this collection great, because it's a little piece of the big picture. This is a tabletop game. This brings tons of people together, and they sit down, they organize their squadrons and customize them, and they battle it out. And it gets people talking. And anything that can make the Star Wars community grow, in my opinion, is a good thing. Now, the company that makes X-Wing also makes Star Wars Armada, which is a capital ship based, similar to X-Wing in some aspects, but different and its own thing. Having said that, beautiful, beautiful ships, excellent paint apps, and I reviewed almost every expansion so far, so I'll put a link in the description below for that playlist. But if you're into bigger ships, I really recommend it. Go check it out. Now, having said all that, it is the end of the video, my friends. I put a lot of time into this video, and I hope it shows. So if you enjoyed it, smash that like button, and if you want to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.